All right, family. Black Power, Black Power. It's the Truth Hour for General Truth Hour with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, dynamic page. Y'all already know what it is. Black Power, Black Frequency. You feeling that frequency and energy, you should most definitely join. The link right down in the video description is in the chat, says join. Click that link. You'll get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies for the kings, queens, and the children, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. KingSeti.com, 25% off selected items at this time. Save and shop, shop and save, family. Uh, already know General Seti got a powerful platform. GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, over 1,200 videos of pure heat and fire, presented by the general himself. All the subject that you know and love from the general is there. Powerful expression. We also got the supplemental, monumental, and instrumental research material from the Grandmaster teachers. I give you an overview on that material, giving you 360 degrees of supreme African academic knowledge and wisdom that cannot be compared to by any other website on the planet. I want you to enroll today, become a student today. Check it out, family, and thank me later. Everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come, exclusive live stream. Too hard to handle on YouTube, but just so exquisite. I keep it for my family on Patreon. You already know I keep that fire. When I turn up, I get the hot sauce out. And and if it get too hot for Patreon, I take it to generalseti.com. But I most definitely got a hell of a platform on Patreon where you want to stick your hand down in that treasure chest and get them jewels. Get over there today. Look at the powerful video titles and obscure and powerful video titles, and I guarantee you that you'll join and enjoy that information. That's right, family. All my family out there that donate to the general, I want to thank you. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate me. Any of the family out there would like to donate to the general, keep the general on the battlefield. A link right there in the video description in the chat room. Click that link, donate, and I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share with your family and friends and comment, comment, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Now, this one is a classic that I wanted to bring up. Is we talking about the origins of the Kemetic samurai. You see what I'm saying? The origins of the Kemetic samurai. Now, what we have to understand is this: that uh, Africa, all nations on the Indian Ocean is really the first world. You see, when we look at the map, we don't really realize that. Wasn't no Europe, wasn't no America. You talking about Africa, and let me get to and all the nations that are on the Indian Ocean. That's really Africa is the first world, but the nations on the Indian Ocean is actually the second world. The world, that's when you talk about the world, you see what I'm saying? That in ancient times was the world. Wasn't no Europe. Wasn't nothing in Europe. Wasn't nothing in the Americas. It was all between Africa and the nations, Southern Asia, the extremities, and from Australia and all those areas, Mesopotamia, Southern Arabia, all that was the world. That was the first world that we know of. You see, and it was primarily an extension of the great civilizations of the Nile Valley. You see, and most scholars of the most heavyweight scholars are unanimous on that. We talk about Kush. You understand what I'm saying? You see that Kush is a name that's synonymous across all the land masses. You see, it's synonymous across all the land. Kush. You see, and it's for a reason. When you got the Hindu Kush, and what's crazy is that the nation of India, they looked at that area that they call Mesopotamia, and they had the world cut up into what they call dwipas, and I guess that's regions of the planet. And so they called the area between India and Africa Kush Dwipa. You see what I'm saying? Not only did they call it Kush Dwipa, they called it you got the Hindu Kush Mountains. You see? And so they, and they used the term Kashmir. You see? But Kash is also Kush. You see, them vowels is interchangeable. And so knowing that, so when you get Kashmir, Kushmir, you know that one of the very first pharaohs of the 25th dynasty, the very first one, the father, I believe, Pianki, was Kashta. So you get Kush and you get Kash. Now, when you get into Mesopotamia, the first capital of Babylon was Kish. See, they try to use the I there. But what you have to understand, that there is no vowel. So they'll flip it so you won't make the connection that this is actually all one people. It's a different district, it's a different area, but it's all under the empire of Kush. That is, the heart of it is in Africa, but it is extending across Southern Asia, even into past Australia. You see, and we can prove that. Because a lot of people, when they look at Australia, one of the symbols of Australia is the boomerang. But do you know they got hundreds of boomerangs right there in the Egyptian museum? You see what I'm saying? They got hundreds of boomerangs right there in the Egyptian. So there's a whole lot of symbolisms that is extended across all those nations. And it's crazy. As I was looking, you can get especially when even going past India, when you get into areas like, what's that? It's Burma. It's not Burma no more. It's something else, where they got all them like pyramid temples over there. I mean, they got more pyramid temples than even India. Now, I believe India once was like that. You see what I'm saying? Where the pyramid, it's not by coincidence that the pyramid is the primary, holy structure across all the continents. It's not by no coincidence. You see, the fact is that, Egypt, and I don't even want to say the Nile Valley was primary. You see what I'm saying? And from there, just like, when you look at the world as it is today, everybody want to mimic, the West as far as building skyscrapers and so on and so forth. That started in the West, even though we understand that in ancient times we had already invented skyscrapers. There's no doubt about that. We're talking about the modern expression of what we see today coming out of the West. First, the first skyscrapers of the modern day were built in Chicago, and then it extended to New York, and now you look, downtowns are all over the planet, and so they are mimicking, what, and even surpassing in many instances what the West has established. But So you see how, you have a centralized point and then it expands. You see, and so you see the centralized point was Africa with the pyramids, and then it expand. And if they couldn't build megalithic structures, they just built in the technology that they had. And regardless, everywhere that I saw, you know what I'm saying, was amazing. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go over there to that one nation over there, I believe is Burma, and man, they got nothing but pyramid temples. I mean, hundreds of them. You see what I'm saying? Just hundreds of them. You can see them in the skyline. All different type of pyramid temples over there. You see, and so that's Kush. That's an extension of Kush. And you can even see pyramids down into Indonesia. You understand? Places, they don't even want to tell you they there. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want, but today, because you got so many people that's visiting all over the world, you see what I'm saying? That they go in and they take pictures and shit and they post it, and you know what I'm saying? And they don't, I mean, a lot of people ain't, they ain't trying to hide. If they go somewhere, they want you to see what the, where they at. That's just how people is. They want to show off where they at. So a lot of people that are traveling around the world today, and they taking that camera and they going into these places and they taking pictures and they exposing a lot of shit that these historian motherfuckers didn't want to show people. So the world is wide open today, and they are showing that literally all through Africa, all through Asia, that whole, and what's crazy, matter of fact, let me get my military geography up here, man, so I can show some maps, man. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. But let me get into this samurai, because it's true. You see, that's an art form that we also, had in Africa. It was all through, and so when we say Kush, you got Kush major and you got Kush minor. You see what I'm saying? You have to look at those civilizations in Asia as an extension of Africa. You have to look at it as an extension of Africa. And that those nations, and they have institutions and universities that kept in contact with the mother university in Africa. And they exchange information across the board, whether it was astrological, whether it was language, whatever technology they had. They shared information like brothers and sisters would do, sister nations, brother nations would do. They shared information. You see, and this was the first world. This was the first world. And so even in, martial arts and the protection of oneself, I mean, this is natural for people to want to protect themselves. You see what I'm saying? You got a whole lot of goddamn animals and shit that you got to know some, and even, your enemies and shit. You know what I'm saying? That are trying to come into Africa, and any nation where you reside in, you need, that was the first means of protection. They didn't necessarily have no guns or no cannons. And so the first weapon was the body, your hands, and getting a damn stick, and you know what I'm saying? And then later on it would be knives and swords, and that would come into play, when you start dealing with blacksmiths. You see what I'm saying? Because those who had a more greater mastery in smelting that iron and smelting them damn metals, they had the stronger weaponry. You see what I'm saying? So in the development of that, the blacksmiths also had a large effect as far as the development of military and warfare and self-defense. When you go into Africa, many of those temples show you martial arts. That's clear. Benny Hassan, matter of fact, Benny Hassan, as they have documented, has over something like 200 throws, blocks, kicks, and so on and so forth. You see, this has not, and it's still, even though it's readily available and it's there for anybody to see, still they don't want to show. And even the way the Nubians is fighting today, it was shown on the walls thousands of years ago where they wrapped that one hand. You see what I'm saying? They wrapped that one hand. I still ain't got nothing in it. They wrap that one hand, they keep one hand free, and then they wrap the other hand up. Do you know they got pictures on the island of Crete, which shows that particular form of fighting? You see, matter of fact, wait a minute, that might be. I mean, one is in Sudan, but I think it's another. Where's that other? Is that Nigeria? It might be Nigeria too that got that. You know what I'm saying? It might be Nigeria. I have to look into that again. You see what I'm saying? So now when you talk about the term samurai, now when we look at the root of Sam, it's no different than calm. See, you got to quit looking at that first continent, that the consonant, that don't necessarily matter. The charm, harm, calm, it's a proven fact. I've just seen the scholarship. You see what I'm saying? So it means black. Now there's a legend that in order to be a samurai, you got to have at least one drop of black blood. Okay. And now the samurai is from Japan. Okay. But in that story, it says that you must have one drop of black blood to be a samurai. I don't know how you're going to get one goddamn drop. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how, why they would even come up with some shit. You're going to have to have more than one goddamn drop. Unless you just going to cut, how they do that, that one to make an oath and shit, and motherfucker cut a finger and shit. You understand what I'm saying? And today you ain't gonna do no shit like that. Your ass will fuck around and have AIDS and shit. But you know what I'm saying? But that's the only way I can see. So the legend is crazy. But when they show the samurai, do you know they always show the sun behind the samurai? And so you see the sun behind the samurai. So he is connected to the sun. And so we understand that the samurai is very similar to the Heru warrior. You see what I'm saying? Very similar to and we know that the Japanese, they love ancient Egypt. Okay, they love it. You understand? From the Johnny Sacco to the damn Yu-Gi-Oh and all of that. They forever mimicking ancient Egypt. So they love them some goddamn Egypt, just like these Caucasians. You see, and we know why. And we can't hate on the fact that, because I mean, as great as Egypt is and the impression that it have on people all around the goddamn world, we could understand why. You see what I'm saying? So we understand when you look here and you see Heru with the sun disc, the Heru warrior, this is the samurai. Now we're gonna get to the root of it. Now you see here, now you see with the woolly haired Buddha, you see the halo behind the head. Okay, you see the halo behind the head. And so that shows solar worship. That shows solar divinity. You see, that show, and you see the woolly hair on his head. You see, so understand that these is Cushites that are in the land. It's the same ancient source of knowledge and wisdom that come up out of Africa. There's no doubt about it. And all the Buddhas were woolly head. Okay, you don't find into the very modern times, and they know they didn't change the shit, because you can't find no damn ancient Buddha with no damn straight hair, no hair like that. You see, now when you look at, now this is a statue of Bess, and when I seen it, I say, damn, it looked like he got on a military uniform. And when you look at the uniform of the samurai, you see he got the same military uniform as the samurai. You see the chest plate, the chest of the breastplate. You see the plate that guards the groin. You can see he got on a helmet. You see what I'm saying? You can see, because you can see the outline of it. You see the outline of it over his face. You see the outline over. So he got the helmet on, he got the chest plate, he got the groin guard. You see, to keep somebody from, you got to protect your groin. That's what it is. So you see all the elements of the samurai uniform with best. You see what I'm saying? Because I mean, quite obvious, if you going to war, it's just certain areas you're gonna goddamn guard. You got to guard your chest. You're gonna have to guard your groin. Some people put some type of defense over your legs. You see what I'm saying? And not to, but your shin area. You see, and then you're gonna guard your head. You understand? You're gonna guard your head. And so you see, now what's very critical about the samurai uniform is the fact that you see you see the antlers, and you see the sun disc in between the antlers, which is when you look at Hereru, you see the cow, or the apis, you see the cow horns with the sun disc in the middle. It's not a it's it, you know uh this is not rocket scientists. You know what I'm, or rocket science. You see what I'm saying? You can see the similarities is clearly there. Okay, showing you that the Nile Valley, the Kushite Empire, you see, had extremist science and knowledge going to the furthest extremities of past Asia into what they call Oceania. You see what I'm saying? Into over there, and they don't even show you all them islands that's in that damn water over there. They always keep them islands. When you look at the Indian Ocean and you look at the Pacific, they show you just a big ass ocean. They don't show you all the islands that's there, because you fuck around and do some research. You find out one of your family members might be over there some damn where. So they don't even want you to know no damn islands is there. And if you don't know, then they can go over there and bully the people, take the damn land from them, and you wouldn't even know that they did it. You see? And so again, showing you you know, you see here the what it looks like. It looks like a reef, but it's the same as the horns. You see the sun disk there, and you see the dragon that's in front, and that's just like the uraeus that sits on the pineal gland of the pharaoh. You see, very similar. So we know what it is. Okay, we know what it is, and here you looking at Benny Hassan, and you looking at all the throws, and they got over something like 100, 200 throws. This is more of a grappling. You see what I'm saying? This is, I wrestle, and you can see this is more of a grappling, but it's still art. It's still a martial art. But here, if you go down, I believe this is the temple of Beni Hassan, and you can look in the back, and you see on the walls, you see all the throws, you see all the grappling moves, and here you can see that they actually and they still do that fighting today, where they in one hand they got that stick, and then the other hand you can see them as chops right there. You understand what I'm saying? That's a chop. You know what I'm saying? So either they blocking or they chopping. So they hit with one damn hand, and they probably blocking and chopping with the other hand, but them is chops. And you can see the hand is open, like, you know what I'm saying, that, a chop. You motherfucker, either you gonna hit a motherfucker in the neck, on that shoulder blade, whatever, wherever you gonna go. You see what I'm saying? But you can see that they in making the preparation to block or to chop, and they got that. And I seen them. They still doing the same fighting today that's on the walls. Okay, still being practiced to this very day. Now I'm looking at the uniform of the samurai. So you see the guard, you see the groin guard. You can see that he got a guard over the shoulder. You see, got a guard over the shoulders, got guards over the hips, because they using them damn swords. Them goddamn swords is sharp than a motherfucker. So you gonna have to have something. Because the first time that goddamn sword hit your ass, you done for. They be sharpening them motherfucking and some of them damn swords that come about, them samurai swords, the steel. You understand what I'm saying? Is world renowned to where, man, that motherfucker can chop through cement. You understand what I'm saying? That motherfucker can chop through cement. And that motherfucker ain't gonna break or nothing. They got they had motherfucking craftsmen that had mastered a certain level of iron smelting. So when you start talking, it's other art forms that are interwoven into that. You see, and so it's also a lot of them them samurais was also iron smelters because some of them made their own swords. And so you had to have your formula on how you mix your metal and shit and this, that, and the third. Everybody didn't have that. You understand? Motherfucker chop something, sword break it. But some of them motherfuckers, man, was world renowned, man, with to where shit, you could chop down a goddamn tree with one of them. I mean, 2 or 3 chops. That motherfucker coming down. You feel what I'm saying? This real time. I ain't talking about just, but we talking about a decent, a size tree. We ain't talking about no giant ass tree, but we talking about a decent sized tree that you chop that motherfucker 2 or 3 times, it's coming down. Okay, so understand. So when you look at best, you see the breastplate, you see the helmet, you see the particular you see the feathers at the top. You see over there they got the horns, but he got his decorate, and you can see he got on a helmet. You see he got on a helmet. You see the shoulder guards too. You see what I'm saying? You see he got protection over his shoulders. You see he even got some protection. He got look like he got bracelets or something, to protect his wrist and so on and so forth. So you see that. Okay. And so even this is another one that's on the walls. You see him with them sticks. You know what I'm saying? It look shit. It look like it got. Yeah, I mean, is that Lotus? It look like it could be Lotus. You see what I'm saying? But that shit probably like bamboo. Shit, you hit a motherfucker with that motherfucker, it probably hurt like a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? And so these are knives from ancient Egypt. And you see, you got the kopish, which is the sword, which is the most, that motherfucker hit you, you're done for. You see, that's the Egyptian kopish, your head coming off, and it was the most feared sword in the ancient world. You see, so our peoples had they had their own particular swords, and so I know the samurai had his sword, but the Africans had the kopish. You see, now in samurai again, you get sam, you get ham, you get kam, you get cham. That's all rooted, that root of even when Moses asked God, he said, "Who should I say sent me?" God say, "Tell him I am." See, so the root of that is symbolic to black divinity. You see, and when you look it up, that's exactly what it means. And so it could the vowel can vary. It could be e, it could be him. Like you get ham, it could be him, it could be Kim. You see, it that can change. You see, and so understand Bethlehem, and you can get Kemet, Kemet. It could be Comet, Kamat. Sam, Ham, Com, all rooted in black. Okay, all rooted in black. And so I'm gonna touch on a few more things and just to see, as you can see with Johnny Socko. Now y'all might, I don't know how old you guys is out there and shit. Johnny Socko go back. You understand what I'm saying? I was young when Johnny was this. So you talking about Johnny Socko going probably into the early 70s and shit. Might go into the late 60s shit. I don't know. So you got Johnny Socko, and you see he got the goddamn Nemesis crown on. So you can see the Japanese was already, taken from ancient Egypt even back then. You see? got Johnny Sacco with the damn Nemesis crown on his head. Now, most people don't know if they didn't watch it. You can go back and check it out. You see him in the car position. So when he take off and fly in the sky, he's inside the silo. You see what I'm saying? And when he take off in the car position. Now, another one of they, and you see even in the Johnny Sacco, they had the eye of Heru. They had the all-seeing eye in that Johnny Sacco sitcom. Now, lastly is the Yu-Gi-Oh! You see? And so that's proof positive that there is a connection between ancient Egypt and the far extremities of the East, that and that connection has carried over from the earliest times. You see, the very earliest times that our people were in that land, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's some information that has been hidden that is not privy to the public to show, that there probably some Kushite ancient Egyptian artifacts all through East Asia. I'm talking about on that most eastern portion of Asia, China, Japan. I guarantee you that it might be even Egyptian artifacts that they haven't let the world see in that land, Kushite. You see what I'm saying? And so you see here Yu-Gi-Oh, which is one of the more popular cartoons in a long time. You see what I'm saying? It's still ranked as one of the more popular, where it take the ancient Egyptian culture and shit. Now, they most definitely, you understand, did some culture vulture shit on that. Cause they didn't, they just turned it straight Caucasoid. So they perpetrated the fraud on that shit for real. You see what I'm saying? We can't let you get by with that. But the all-seeing eye, the pyramid, and so on and so forth. And so when we talk about the ancient or the Kemetic samurai, we showing that martial arts was most definitely a part of African culture and society. You see, just like when you look to the east, and you would think that most people think of kung fu and this, that, and the third. They think of Asians, but that's not true. That there was martial arts in Africa, and that the extremities of East is an extension of ancient Africa. So there it is, family. We can look to our own ancient history and see that we have a legacy that is yet to be told. This is General Sarah Sunset saying, "Hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power."